Happy Friday! How are you doing today on this gorgeous day? Had a good time with my sweetie pie last night. We went to a Spanish restaurant and ordered food that we haven't had in a while since coming back from our vacation. Uh, it is gorgeous here. I'm 72 miles north of Miami in Lake Worth. So if you know where Miami is, you know where I am. Just about an hour drive north of that. And it's a beautiful day. Look at that sky. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm walking my puppy. He's 13 years old and he's having a little bit of trouble or being a little stubborn about walking, so I kind of just give him some freedom to do whatever he wants. And I've been dealing with a lack of sleep, and it's mainly a mental thing for me, I think, in the sense that I think it's just a question of learning to calm my monkey brain, calm down my monkey brain, and see if I could sleep without it having a million things on my mind. It would help if I had a real physical based job. I think if I was physically beat, I would sleep much better. Maybe going to the gym might help with that. But anyway, getting back to what a gorgeous day it is today, right? I can't get over it. Just look at that absolutely gorgeous sky. There's a woodpecker up there somewhere. You saw him? He's pecking away. You never know what you're gonna find. That's my Forrest Gump moment. Life is like a box of chocolates, right? Anyway, I have to figure out a way of getting some sleep, and it's either getting myself exhausted physically every day. That's probably not going to happen, but it's also about just calming my mind enough so that I don't have any thoughts that keep me awake. Healthy I am. I'm healthy as a horse, but my mind, my monkey brain kicks in and just doesn't let go. I have to deal with that. What about you? What keeps you up at night? Is it physical, or is it just your brain going on? I don't know. Sometimes it's a little anxiety, and you know what? The sad thing is that most of the anxiety is caused by news, and mostly by fake news. One moment. Okay, back. Sorry, I actually had to pick up his poop. Very bad timing for him, but I guess he didn't realize I was recording something. Again, how are you today? I did get a good night's sleep last night. We'll try that again. Try to just basically get a better night's sleep than what I had the night before and calm my monkey brain. or my monkey mind as it is also known. I think the biggest, on another topic, I think the biggest challenge for the 21st and 22nd century is going to be the proliferation of fake news. And it is getting to the point that it's so bad and it's so relative. You go on cable services for the wealthy, like some of my clients, I have to go to their homes, and wow, you would think you're in a different world when you watch their cable TV. Totally different programming. All the shows that you wondered, why don't they have these classy shows? Why is news so bad? Well, guess what? Depends on your zip code, buddy. It really depends on your zip code. And on the other hand, sorry, had to pick up my puppy boy here. On the other hand, if you go to really bad areas, they have horrible programming and get a lot more shows like Cops and other horrible things, and Judge Judy, and that's the stuff that gets fed into those areas. And that's a shame, but that's the world we live in, because it's a pay-for-news world, and those with the money want to pay to control public opinion. It's only going to get worse. And it's going to get worse in so many ways. And by that I mean, if you take even videos, so I had people catch videos that are being published about person A or person B. These days, with Adobe After Effects, with Photoshop and other tools, being able to distinguish between a raw, untouched video and an edited video is getting harder and harder and close to impossible. As a matter of fact, talking about a good career, you want to have a job that pays well, at least in Canada, because I know I'm talking about a friend of mine who works in video, I forget the word, but it's like those crime scene units that authenticate what's going on. Well, he authenticates videos to see if they're fake or not, and that's becoming a big business, because it's getting harder and harder to determine when a photo or video of something is fake or not. So fake news kind of bothers me, because since way back, really, the last time we had fair news that was supported by tax money and not by private enterprise was back in the 70s, and ever since we've been shrinking, so that very few people or companies own most of the media outlets, most of the news companies out there. And as a result, well, news is being tailored to the highest bidder, and the ones with the most money want to mold public opinion to their benefit. So anyway, that bugs me, because so much of this social engineering, this media manipulation, is going on at so many levels that it's almost like you might have no other choice but to just unplug. Like here, for example, this is Winston Trails. I've lived here for 20 years, and if I judge life in the world by just waking up and looking what I see here, I would say there's zero crime in the world, because we've never had anything close to anything beyond a car getting broken into because they left it open and somebody took the GPS. So sometimes you have to look at it like, well, maybe you have to gauge life and approach news through your own eyes these days, because you can't really trust what's being fed through the media. So if you wake up and look around your place and see what's going on with the world, that's all that should concern you, right? On the other hand, we want to be up to date, we want to be actualized and be hip with everything that's happening in the world. Unfortunately, to do that, you give up control of what you can see through your eyes as what is real and what is not real, what is fake and what is live. And at that point, then you are at the mercy of whoever's paying the highest price for the news. And that's how it goes. Hello.
Hey, Davida, it's Al. Give me a call if you feel like it. Bye.
So there you have it. That's the world we live in, and this will only increase. And it's all related to money and those who have it and those who do not. Same with politics and campaign contributions. As long as political candidates are allowed to receive campaign contributions from wealthy donors, we will not have the best candidates running, and much less being elected to office. We will have the ones who have been bought and paid for by the large corporations and interests. So I guess I'm starting to agree more and more with these new movements. There's studies stating that we are tribal creatures, and our brains are designed to only fully remember about 125 people. And the interesting thing is that studies with monkeys reveal that their tribes are always, and I think the number is exact, but I'm not 100% sure, but a group of monkeys is usually grows to about 125, and after that somebody gets cast out. But you rarely find a tribe of monkeys, if that's the correct word for it, but you rarely find a group of monkeys that go beyond 125. And our own brain, it has been shown that we can only remember about 125 people well, in terms of names and remember personal details. You know, the good thing, my puppy's walking today. He's having a good time. He's being a good sport. So I think he's happy that I took him out, because he didn't. We usually I try to take him out twice a day, but sometimes, like yesterday, we only were able to take him out last night. So I think he's a little happy about that. So we are tribal creatures by genetics, by biology, and That would be interesting. We're living at a time where it's probably easier to create independent tribes now. And the new word for that is secession. I think you're going to see more and more independence of states becoming self-sufficient. Look at California, look at New York, look at Texas. One of my predictions is that eventually these states will secede from the United States, and by that I mean secede means they will become independent and not be a state. Whether it will happen publicly or it will happen gradually and nothing will be said, and they may still be considered a state, although they will have a lot more autonomy than before. But eventually that will happen. Why? Because states like New York and California and Texas will no longer want to share the burden of carrying lesser economically sound states, say like Mississippi and Detroit. And as the political will wanes and there is less people willing to, or less people, well, politicians decide that nobody really wants a prosperous state to carry the burden of lesser states, you will see more secession. And that's exactly what the Brexit is. The European Union was created as a way to compete with the United States, to create a sort of a United States in the European continent. And right now, this is exactly what is happening there, where the more wealthy countries like France and Germany and Great Britain do not want to continue to share the economic burden of smaller countries that are not contributing into the European Union. And also because of the refugee crises that is happening. And one of the things about the European Union, that it has certain laws about accepting refugees, and I think this populist movement that you see in these countries is a reflection of countries who are no longer willing to, they have grown to a certain size where it's becoming unsustainable to have it beyond a certain amount of population in there. So we shall see what the net effect of all of this is, but sooner or later I think it's only natural that we start having more and more autonomous states, and with less shared burden with other states. And also maybe it's just a lashback from our own genetics and our own evolution, where we're still biological creatures, we're still social tribal creatures, and we still have that even in our brains, the limited capacity of dealing with about 125 people, right? We'll see. Okay, I think that's my rant for the day, or for my walk. And my puppy Alfie's doing so good. He's walking, he's being a good boy. He's being a good boy, that 13-year-old pup. Guys, have a wonderful Friday and weekend, and I'll catch you later.